Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Now, anybody in my family will tell you that I am not much of a seamstress, but I do occasional hand stitching, and it's kind of fun and easy to do with these really cute plush critter dies by Memory Box. I'm going to be playing with the hedgehog today, and you can make it a girl hedgehog or a boy hedgehog. There's a bow tie in there and some flowers and hearts and leaves, and they've already got the stitching holes aligned on the die for you, and they cut like butter through the Tailored Expressions felt. This stuff is really nice quality, and the color range is just gorgeous. I can't get enough of that felt. So I'm going to go ahead and get my needle threaded, and since I have difficulty, I was just going to share a tip. I was having a hard time getting it through the eye of my needle, and I didn't have a needle threader, so I just grabbed a dental floss threader. Hey, you use what you got, right? So now I've die cut my pieces, and I decided to clear the holes with the ball tip of my stylus. The nice thing about this is it's not a needle, so it's not going to poke through. Don't use a piercing tool. Use something that has a rounded tip so you don't end up piercing through your felt and creating some unwanted, extra piercings and stuff through the felt. So anyway, the piece of white was kind of flimsy for this particular project, so I went ahead and followed some instructions on some fusible interfacing, just ironed it on, and then when it was nice and attached to the felt, I could go ahead and rerun that die with the felt through my Big Shot Net cut, through the felt and through the lightweight interfacing. But this is going to give the shape some substance and heft to it, so it's going to be easier to work with as I'm doing my hand stitching. So now I'm just going to go ahead and use my ball stylus again to go through and clear the waste from the holes, and then I can see where everything is going to get lined up. And I'm going to grab my needle and thread, and I like to come up through the back side with my knot, and I'm going to be doing, I think it's called a running stitch. I cannot remember what the stitches are called, but this one's a very basic stitch, very easy to do. And instead of going up down the hole, up the hole, down the hole, up the hole, I came up and then I went down, and then I'm going to skip a hole. So I'm going to actually move my needle down one more hole. You can see here what I'm doing. I wanted to bring the camera in just a little bit closer so you could see how I'm skipping when I take my stitches. So I'm doing a longer stitch on the back side, coming back up through that other hole, and then I'll come back down through the hole in the middle to create a running stitch that has no gaps in it. So if I just went in the hole and out the next hole and in the hole and out the next hole, I would have these gaps in between those holes. So this is how you create that seamless stitch that runs all the way around. So I'm just going to continue the very same stitch and just go all the way around the whole thing and do the detail part around her neck there. There you go. And you can see it on the back. It's not quite as nice as the front, but still not too bad. The back is not really going to be seen on this. I decided to do a little bit of decorative stitching to give her some quills. So I just made little teeny tiny straight stitches, a little bit wonky, but completely freehand. And I think it gives her a lot of character. And there you see the hot mess on the back. This is going to be an applique. I think it would be really cute to stitch it onto a sweatshirt with a sewing machine itself so that you have it nicely sewn to the sweatshirt. But I'm going to go ahead and further embellish her by die cutting some leaves and flowers from some of the other colors of felt that I have. And there you can see the little daisy. I just did the same stitch to tack down the leaf, and then I'm just going to do a straight stitch through each of the petals on the daisy just to tack it and anchor it down in place. Now, could you glue these on? Yeah, you could. But if you're going to use them on a garment, you may find the longevity of the applique will be, it's just going to last a lot longer if you hand stitch everything, and it will just be a better hold up in the laundry and everything, and then if you tried gluing it or something like that. Now, to finish off the flower, I'm going to do a straight stitch or a satin stitch here in the center. I could have added another piece of felt and tacked that down, but I thought it would be really fun to continue the whole embroidery look that I was going for by just doing a satin stitch in the middle. So I just laid down some stitches straight and tight in a row to fill in the center of that flower. And then I used the very same satin stitch to do the nose. And there is actually a die that part of this set that will actually cut out the nose from some felt. And if you were doing something that was like a magnet or a bookmark or something that wasn't going to be going through the laundry on a garment, you certainly could do that and glue those on. But I decided to go ahead and do the embroidery stitching because I just can't wait to fuse this and then do some machine stitching around the perimeter to a sweatshirt. So cute! And there you can see a close-up of her. Isn't she adorable? I just thought she turned out adorable. Also made this little guy, and the reason I came up with him is I remembered when my kids were babies and they would get an ear infection and they would cry because it hurt, and someone had told me that heating up some uncooked rice in a baby sock and pressing that against their ear would help relieve the pain. And so I thought it would be kind of a sweet little, boo-boo pack for a kid if I filled the little hedgehog with rice. So I took the two halves and stitched it together, and I left an opening so I could fill it with rice. I'm just using a kitchen funnel there to get the rice down in there, and then I'm kind of tapping it there to get the rice to kind of move down into his nose. And I'm also using my stylus to kind of pack it in there a little bit. And then if you get too much, just kind of pour the excess out into your little measuring cup there. And then you can go ahead and stitch everything closed tightly so that none of the rice is going to escape or fall out. And so there's nothing involved as far as metal or anything like that. So you can stick it in the microwave and heat it for, I can't remember how long, but if you Google it, I know you'll find it online. And you can test it too. Like, I'd do about 25 seconds and see how warm it is. And then if you need to do longer, then go ahead and do longer. But he's two-sided, and you can see how the stitching looks on both sides. And he actually looks more like a possum because I didn't do the nose, I think, instead of a hedgehog. But both of them turned out so cute, and they were very quick and easy to do. Now, I have more still shots available at the Classroom blog, and all the supplies are available at ellenhutson.com. Thanks for watching.